Greetings, everyone. This is Jeffrey Harris, but you can call me the J to the E to the double F free, and welcome back to the 411 Wrestling Interviews podcast. Today, we bring you an excellent exclusive interview with the one and only former NWA National Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, Willie Mack, who was gracious enough to join us for an exclusive interview. Very much looking forward to this. Willie Mack has wrestled for Lucha Underground, for Impact Wrestling, for the National Wrestling Alliance. So we're very curious to hear from him and see what he has going on with his career. Also, we have a lot of great exclusive interviews coming up, so stay tuned. So, sorry it's been a bit since we had our last podcast. It's just been very busy lately between covering All Elite Wrestling, Double or Nothing, and then E3 right after that. But we've definitely got some great interviews in store. So here's our interview with Willie Mack. Stay tuned. All right. This is Jeffrey Harris, and this is the 411 Wrestling Interviews podcast. It is Friday, June 21st, and I am speaking with the great Willie Mack, the former NWA National Heavyweight Champion. He is now a part of Impact Wrestling. Willie Mack, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm alright, just chilling, relaxing in the sun.
Great, man. Thank you for joining us today. Man, you had a great match last week with Michael Elgin. How did you like getting to work with him in Impact?
It's alright, just instead of getting thrown up against that ring post, that kind of sucked.
All right, then. Now, how would you describe your current status with Impact, who you signed with recently?
Yeah, my current status is alright, because I'm on TV every other week, or every week just about, so it's pretty good. They got a lot of shows coming up, and I'm glad they bring me along for the ride.
Now, Impact has gone through many changes recently. What do you think of the current regime in charge of Impact and how they're handling the product?
I guess it's alright so far. I'm new to the company, so I ain't been through all the other things, so that's all I know about it. It seems alright so far.
Now, there has been some controversy for Impact being on the Pursuit channel because there's been some broadcast issues with some of the episodes. Have you noticed this at all? And do you think Impact maybe needs a better channel to be on than Pursuit?
I haven't noticed anything because I'm usually on the road on the weekends doing shows and whatnot. But yeah, just because it's on Pursuit, and sometimes they have miscommunications. But if you watch it on Twitch, because everybody should have the internet or something by now, you can catch it there, and it's up to date.
Now, do you know anything or have you heard anything about Impact moving to a new network at some point in the future?
I ain't heard nothing yet, but I'm pretty sure if anything comes up, they'll let us all know, because that's how it's supposed to work.
Now, Impact does have a Slammiversary coming up in a little over 2 weeks in Dallas, Texas. Will you be working that event, and do you know your matchup yet for that event?
I'm not sure if I'm going to be on Slammiversary. I'm pretty sure I'm in town. I'm booked on a few shows out that way in Texas, so yeah, I'll be in the area.
Now, how do you like getting to work in Texas when you're over there?
Oh, it's fun. Texas is big. I love going to Buc-ee's and all the other places and getting to sightsee before I do my shows, so yeah, Texas is pretty good.
What are your thoughts?
Downtown Austin area, because they got a lot of food trucks, and I like to check them out to see what they got.
Have you ever had Texas barbecue, and what do you think of it?
No, I've yet to have any Texas barbecue, which I'm sad about, but hopefully I'll find some good barbecue out that way.
Yeah, you wanna go to Rudy's, Willie. That's what you want to have.
Rudy's, is that like an all-over thing or just like in certain parts?
Just in certain parts, but it is in both Austin and Dallas.
Okay, I guess I'll hit up Rudy's whenever I have time.
Now, you did get to have a nice run in NWA, and you were the National Heavyweight Champion. I think you had a great run as champion over there. How did you like getting to work in this sort of revamped version of the classic NWA?
I was cool because I used to work for the NWA back out in California when they had like the NWA Showcase and NWA Championship from Hollywood. And then they hit me up after I got back from Dragon Gate and asked me if I wanted to do a couple shows with them. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm down. Got to wrestle Cody as soon as I came back out here in Vegas for the NWA World's title.
Now, did you get much of a sense of Billy Corgan's management style, and did you get to interact much with him as the new head of the NWA?
Not too much. I just feel like it was more like a high and by thing, and if he was around while we talked for a little bit, but he was a cool dude from what I saw.
I just thought, you had this really strong run as the national heavyweight champion, and I thought it was a very, that was a great storyline, and the way we got to see it evolve on the YouTube series. How did you think it came off?
I think it came along good because everybody saw the YouTube show, but then they ended up making my own YouTube show, One Nation, and then everything else just followed on the line. Every place we went, they followed me around with cameras and got to see a little bit of what happens backstage and when you're on the road.
Now, there was a bit of controversy recently after you signed with Impact, and NWA's Nick Aldis, he wrote a tweet. He later deleted it, and it said, "If you ever wanted to see evidence of schemy, carny wrestling BS, look no further. Sorry, Willie, they took advantage of you." Referring to you, Willie Mack. Do you have any thoughts or response to what Nick Aldis had to say about this?
I'm not too sure. I know it's just emotions about it because one company wants me, another company wants me. And at the end of the day, I looked at it like, hey, one place I'll be making money so I won't be out of work. As long as I'm still able to wrestle, I'm fine with it.
Well, now, just curious, have you heard any update on the status of Lucha Underground and what might be going on with the brand in the future?
I heard a bunch of things, but nothing too for certain yet. Heard about a meeting and everything else going on, talks and whatnot. So that's about the far much I know about it.
Now, there's another big topic in the wrestling world right now is All Elite Wrestling, AEW. What do you think about AEW and what they've been doing recently?
That's cool. I was at the after party. I didn't end up going to the show, but I was in Vegas just chilling at the after party and everything, and I saw the pay-per-view because they had a viewing party too, so people who couldn't attend. And it was pretty good. I like what they bring to the table, and it's like crazy that a company that didn't have not one show had so much buzz around it and is getting a lot of buzz going for wrestling again. It ain't been like this since the Attitude Era, if you think about it. Because back in the day, it was only three places you could work: ECW, WCW, and WWF at the time. Now it's like 5 or 6 places where you could get contracts at and be on some kind of television, and that's amazing for everybody that's wrestling, so you don't have to worry about just trying to go to them top 3 or the top 1. Just know you can go wherever you want to pretty much, and there's opportunities out there, and there's times for people to show the world what they're about, and that wrestling is still a thing.
Would you ever like to wrestle in AEW at some point, or are you mainly committed to Impact at the moment?
I like to wrestle everywhere, but I got my commitments with Impact, so I'm going to stick it out with them. And hopefully everything goes good, and now make my name there, and then see what happens in the future.
Are there any talents in Impact you'd like to work with in the future who you maybe haven't had the chance to work with yet?
There's a bunch of people. I can't really pick just one. I know it's a bunch of people I haven't wrestled yet on the roster. I like to wrestle. But yeah, if anything comes up, that'll be great. Because the roster is stacked. If you think about it, if you look at the roster, you be like, everybody there can do their job and put together good matches and storylines and whatnot. So we'll just see what they come up with.
Now, regarding your career, Willie, when did you first know you wanted to become a pro wrestler?
When I was 4 years old, stumbling around the house and watching, somehow turned on the TV, and the first thing I saw was WWF at the time. Hulk Hogan with a big old gold belt with the red and yellow talking about who was going to beat up that night at Wrestle. And yeah, I saw what they was doing. They would look like they was having fun, traveling, making cash, and making folks happy.
Now, I mean, what do you think is the key to being a working pro wrestler and, making a living in this business?
I don't know, just get out there putting yourself out there, because it's like, there's probably some good wrestlers all over the world that we don't know about. And the thing is, if they get those right opportunities, it's like, there's just some good dudes, they just didn't have the right spot to showcase their skills. And now, with the internet, anybody could just randomly search for something on YouTube and you see like a wrestling clip, and you end up getting intrigued and click it, and you'll find a new person that you ain't never heard of.
Now, Willie, I did read the story how you were once signed by WWE back in 2014, even though you never really got the chance to work there. Is it in your mind that, is there ever this long-term goal of going to NXT or WWE at some point, or are you just happy where you are right now?
Well, you grew up watching WWE. It's like, it's been a part of your family, and to get that opportunity to go there was great, but I never even got to actually go to the Performance Center, like, officially and start my schedule for my contract. Eventually, I'd like to go there, but if it don't happen, hey, at least I know I was on their radar, because it's like, out of thousands and thousands of people, I got picked, did the tryout, and got a contract, if you think about it. But the way I am, I don't know if I want to go to NXT or nothing, because it's like they start you all the way over. And it's like, if you're already established somewhere, to go there with like years of training and experience or whatever you got your name value on, and to start all the way over again, it's like, I don't know if I want to do that.
Now, I don't know how much you could actually get into this, but if you can, is there a big amount of exclusivity in your current Impact deal, or could under your Impact deal you could work in maybe MLW, or could you work with New Japan if you wanted to?
Yeah, I can work for anybody except for like WWE, of course. It's like, that's why I like the Impact, because I could go anywhere and they ain't holding me back.
Now, is there any interest on your part for maybe a stint in MLW or a stint in New Japan Pro Wrestling, ever?
Oh, hell yeah, it's always an idea of my own to go. It's just up to the bookers and the people to reach out to contact me. That's the thing. People be like, oh, you should go here, you should go there, but I'm like, in wrestling, people have to contact you and get all that stuff sorted out. I can't just show up and be like, hey, put me on. You know what I mean? Actually, it has happened sometimes, but like, certain places, they ain't going for that.
Now, what do you think about wrestling in Japan versus wrestling in the United States?
Oh, Japan is awesome. Like, the United States is cool because everybody speaks English and you can translate easily, but Japan is a whole different thing, and they treat it like with so much respect. It's like a religion out there almost. There in Mexico, because I'm a black dude. I was the only dude over there at that time with Dragon Gate, and everywhere we went, people coming up to me, shaking my hand, asking for photos. And like, when I get in the ring, usually Japanese folks is quiet, but like, I don't know, when I was in there doing my matches, they was like the most hype they've ever been, and I'm like, Because you used to seeing the videos of them just sitting on their hands and clapping every once in a while, making a noise. But they was loud when I was out in that ring. So it feels great, especially coming from a different country.
Do you think the independent pro wrestling scene in the U.S. right now is better than it has been in years? Or do you think it's improving?
Oh, hell yeah, you got so many great people stepping up and all these companies that they got out there now. People can turn, you can go around the corner, and I'm pretty sure it's a building right there that has wrestling, and people who used to watch wrestling back in the day are getting back into it because they're hearing so much buzz about it. So yeah, it's a lot of good stuff going on in the indies right now because it's always been strong, but now it's like popping back up again.
Now I'm curious, being, a full-time pro wrestler, do you still have time to watch wrestling in your off time, or do you not spend much time doing that?
Oh hell, yeah, I always watch wrestling because like when I'm on at home, because the only time I work is during the weekends or sometimes during the weekday, depending on what's happening. I catch everything I can because it's like to improve yourself or stay in the know, you got to keep watching everything you can to know what's going on in the wrestling world.
What type of wrestling do you like to watch when you're at home?
Everything, Lucha Libre, regular wrestling, WWF, I can stomach it. Yeah, pretty much everything. House of Hardcore when they're on Twitch.
Okay. Now, do you have any plugs or shout outs or anything you'd like to share with the fans or how they can find you on social media?
Oh, yeah, I got a lot of stuff coming up. Like you said, in Texas for the Slammiversary weekend. I'll be out that way on July 12th. I'm going to be in Tijuana, Mexico for AAA out there doing that. Then I'm going to be up in Canada again for Impact on the 13th or 14th of July. And I got a bunch of stuff. And if you want to support me and my 8 pets, you can go to ProWrestlingTees.com and pick up some Willie Mack shirts. I got a bunch of selections. Hit me up on Twitter, Willie_Mack. Instagram, same thing. You can find my fan page on Facebook. It's official Willie Mack. And then, that's about pretty much it that I could think of.
Hey, Willie, thank you so much for your time today. It's been a lot of fun speaking with you. I hope you have a great time in my home state of Texas coming up next month, and hope you enjoy yourself. And, man, it's been great to watch your career unfold and watch what you've been doing, and keep up the great work.
Oh, thanks again, and thanks for having me on 411 Wrestling, because I used to listen to y'all stuff all the time, got y'all on Twitter. Even before I was a wrestler, I used to check out the articles and stuff, and it's been great.
Hey, man, I really appreciate that. This is Jeffrey Harris, and you've been listening to Willie Mack on the 411 Wrestling Podcast. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.